Let us spend some time with today's readings and join Jesus in his teaching ministry. Our first reading from St. Paul's letter to the Hebrews, chapter 3, verses 7 to 14, is a diagnosis of the human heart, that there is a resistance towards life. We are prone to resist what is about growth and love and communication and compassion. Sadly, when our heart becomes stiff, either as individuals, in particular as a culture, we lose our ability to read Revelation and to live together with God's healing word on a daily basis. Those who work in a healing profession, like doctors, they know that when someone becomes ill, needs a treatment. St. Paul encourages us to acknowledge that we are in need of this gentle, permanent healing by God on a daily basis. In the Gospel passage, Jesus says to the leper, "Of course I want to heal you. Be cured," and he touches him. And something happens to the leper. Not simply he is healed, but he is fully aware who healed him and that he is being healed. So in a sense, his heart is healed. Now he is able to rejoice and to perceive from whom this healing comes. And it is such a humbling experience even to imagine that Jesus touched him. Jesus is touching us every day. God is touching us every day on a daily basis and offers his gentle healing, which if we are honest with ourselves, we really need it to be whole again. Just to illustrate the transformation of our heart when Jesus is touching us, I'd like to quote briefly from a paragraph from St. Francis de Sales, the treatise on the love of God. The soul is not of such nature, since it has its own proper shapes and dimensions. St. Francis mentions this image when he says that when we pour out water into a vessel, the liquid takes up the shape and accommodates to the shape of the vessel. The soul is not of such nature, since it has its own proper shapes and dimensions. It takes its shape from its habits and inclinations, and its dimensions from its own will. When it is stopped short by its own inclinations and acts of will, we say that it is hard, that it is self-centered and obstinate. God says, "I will take away your heart of stone," that is, I will take away your obstinacy. To change the shape of stone, iron or wood, we need an axe, hammer and fire. We call that a heart of iron, of wood or of stone which does not easily receive divine impressions, but stays in its own proper will among the inclinations that go with our depraved nature. On the contrary, a heart that is gentle, pliable, and tractable is called a melting and liquefied heart. My heart, says King David, has become like wax, melting within my bowels. So let us ask humbly for that healing touch of Jesus, which melts our heart, like that of King David's heart was melted, in order to take up the shape and desires of the Son of God's heart itself.